There have been a handful of stands in JoJo with elemental-based abilities, being able to create or manipulate things like fire, water, ice, earth, electricity, and even any type of weather. The two stands we are going to match up today are Geb and Aqua Necklace. Not only are these two stands based off water, the actual stands themselves are completely made out of water. We are going to look at both of these stands' abilities and then decide which water-based stand is superior. So to start off, the first stand we will be looking at is Induel's Geb. So Geb is a stand with a pretty simple ability. It is a remote-controlled stand with exceptional range, and its user is able to control it with extreme precision from miles away. And because the stand is a body of water, it does not take damage from physical attacks no matter how powerful, but will take damage from attacks that vaporize the water, such as Magician's Red's fire attacks, or just remaining in the sun for a long period of time. Really, this stand's only other ability is its incredible power, speed, and precision. Geb was easily able to take out two of the Crusaders, Kakyoin and Avdol, very easily in the arc with just a single attack to each of them. The stand can compress water to create extremely dense claws that can easily cut through flesh and sever limbs in a single blow. We also see the stand decapitate a member of the Speedwagon Foundation and pull the entire head of the member into a small water canteen, which would require an extreme amount of pressure or just immense destructive power being able to crush the skull that easily. So needless to say, Geb is a pretty terrifying stand considering all of this was done by a blind man controlling the stand in Duel. The desert may have seemed like a bad place for a stand completely made out of water to battle, but because of the location, it allowed the user to use the stand as a sonar to locate the Crusaders' movements by sound. So it's a bit of a trade-off. You don't get the stand's fullest potential because it is in the middle of a desert, but because of the desert, it doesn't really give the user an advantage, but rather a fighting chance as he's actually able to locate the enemies. So we really never got to see the full potential of this stand. As for the stand's stand stats, they're pretty contradictory to what we have actually seen the stand do. And the stats are a C in destructive power, a B in speed, an A in range, a B in durability, a D in precision, and D in development potential. And when I mention the stand stats being contradictory, I'm talking about the destructive power and the precision, as although the user isn't that precise because he's blind, if the user was able to see, he could theoretically use this stand incredibly precise, as what we saw the stand do when the user could only hear the movements, it was pretty much spot on with every attack that it made when it located the sound. And its attack seemed a bit more powerful than just a C. Moving on to the next stand going up against Geb is Angelo Katagiri's Aqua Necklace. Aqua Necklace is of course very similar to Geb. It is a stand entirely made out of water, but Aqua Necklace actually has its own appearance rather than just being water that takes the shape of things. So this stand has the ability to disguise itself as any liquid and even change the physical body it is in, as we saw it change a normal bottle into a bottle of liquor, and the stand itself changed color too. This ability is most useful to trick people into drinking the stand, which leads into its next ability. If Aqua Necklace has been consumed by someone, this makes the target extremely vulnerable to attacks from the inside, as in an instant Aqua Necklace can kill someone from inside by damaging their brain, as well as by controlling the person's movements, although this ability was not used as often as the user should have used it, as we've seen multiple times when Aqua Necklace was inside someone, instead of rather thinking about the situation he was in and maybe using this person's body to the best of their ability, he would just kill them instantly, or just not kill them at all and just be inside the person and not do anything, I guess just to give the person that's inside it opportunity to get it out, like in the case of Josuke. This stand was most effective when trapping its targets in an area that is surrounded by water and steam, as the stand can also travel through water vapor to enter a target more easily. And also similar to Geb, the stand is controlled remotely from a long range, although it seems that the user cannot actually see what Aqua Necklace sees, as we've seen him hiding in the bushes outside of the house that he trapped Josuke and Jotaro in, looking into the house with binoculars, which seems a bit contradictory considering the stand has eyeballs all over it. So moving on to Aqua Necklace's stand stats, they are a C in destructive power, C in speed, A in range, A in durability, C in precision, and E in development potential. So now to decide which stand is overall superior than the other. So something I wanted to mention when it comes to Geb is that we really didn't see what this stand was fully capable of because of its user's handicap of being blind. So because of Endul, this stand made of water was limited to the desert, which of course brings down the stand's potential, and it was also never made clear if Geb created its own water similar to the way that Magician's Red creates its own fire, or if the water had to come from an original water source, or even if Geb had the power to manipulate any kind of water. I would assume it could, because we saw the stand inside the water canteen, which presumably had water inside of it before Geb got inside. So just imagine if the user of this stand wasn't blind and could use this stand in a medium to close range situation. I would imagine Geb being used in a way similar to a waterbender from the Avatar series, because from what we have seen, this stand is completely capable of working in that manner. So pretty much, Geb would make its user an extremely brutal and extremely deadly waterbender, as the stand's water is sharp as blades. So when looking at the stands and not the stand users, Geb could be able to do pretty much everything that Aqua Necklace could do, except not have to enter its target to inflict critical damage, as well as not being able to possess its target. So even when it comes down to utility purposes, Geb still surpasses Aqua Necklace, as the stand can take on various shapes and also at best Aqua Necklace in speed. So really the only way that Aqua Necklace beats Geb is in the way that it can possess people. And that was kind of a really strange ability because we only saw it used a couple of times, and we really didn't see the full extent to what that could do, and it really is kind of a completely different ability than just a stand being made out of water. So when just looking at the stand's abilities and potential, by far Geb is the superior water-based stand, although in its arc it was extremely hindered by its user. I mean, like I mentioned with the waterbender, just imagine if there was another user of Geb who wasn't blind and was just up close and personal with the Crusaders. He could just control Geb and just look at where he wants to put the stand and attack that way, just making, I mean, his physical range, it would just increase his physical power and also his physical range, and also not being able to be damaged because he's attacking with very sharp and dense water that can just break away whenever it's damaged, and that would just make for such a deadly stand user. Although up close and personal with a stand against Magician's Red, he would find difficulties. But of course, no matter how powerful a stand has, there is always another stand that is the perfect counter. Except for, you know, that one stand from part 5 that doesn't have any counters at all. So for this episode of Standoff, I'm going to say Geb is the overall superior stand, but there will also be a card in the top right where you guys can vote on which stand you think is superior and won today's standoff. So at the time of making this video, we just hit the 30,000 subscriber milestone, and that's just so incredible. 30,000 JoJo fans all gathered in one community, and it's great to daze. Okay, that was probably a bit cringy, but in all seriousness, thank you guys so much for 30,000 subscribers. I just want to thank you all for watching the videos, liking, and subscribing, and I just can't wait to make more videos for you guys. So that's going to be all for today. Like this video if I fought your boredom, or if you just enjoyed it. Subscribe for more JoJo videos, and let me know what you guys want to see in the next episode of Standoff in the comments down below. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. My